you believe you hear the word culture a lot? Please, raise your hands, culture a lot. How many of you sometimes think, what does that mean? What does that mean? And I know it means something different to each one of us, right? Would that be fair to say? I want to break down microcultures very specifically that created the fastest growing real estate company in California. Here's the first one, the culture of extreme fierce focus. As an organization, for us to grow, how many of you actually are actively thinking about growing and bringing new agents on to help build and grow your agency? How many of you? Okay, the entire room, all right? So we believe that there was no way we're going to go from $280 million in sales to $3.3 billion or $5 billion in sales if we didn't have agents. We changed the entire culture to be a culture of recruiting great people. Number two, the second culture, the culture of synchronized vocabulary. The first one was culture of fierce focus. The second was a culture of synchronized vocabulary. Imagine if your entire team, I learned this from Michael and Shane, on how synchronized their language patterns are. Because every time you talk to them, you feel warm, you feel protected, you feel inspired, because they're so thoughtful about what they say every single time. Wouldn't you agree? They're so thoughtful. And that comes from being very, very intentional, being by design, right? You want to attract people to your brand, you attract people to your culture. You want to, because when you attract great people, they connect with who you are, and it's not a recruiting sales pitch anymore. It's not, yes, the function is recruitment, I get it. But connection, people stay because of connection. People stay because they're connected to who you are, the values that you have. Retention is language is really, really powerful. The language shapes our world. If there are words that are just part of the industry, we have to change them so that they blend into the culture of who we are. Number three, the culture of operational ownership. How many of you right now, as an agent or a principal, if you had to only choose one thing that you can do in your business, and nothing else, you're able to choose? One thing. So my team would tell me, Sharran, you can only do growth, and if there's anything outside of growth, you have to hit forward. Not forward and, hey, Jim, can you handle this? No, forward. There's no niceties. There's no can you please help me with this? No, forward. It's not me. We've got to get into a culture where you get stuff in your lane, and you own your lane, and you only do your lane, because there's this amazing quote, and I will tell you right now, the amazing quote. When you spend time working on your weaknesses, you end up with a bunch of really strong weaknesses. Right? It's amazing. The $1 billion listing flow. First one, track record. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we know that it is our job to bring you an offer that you want at a price that you want at the terms that you want. It is the number one line that works in every appointment in any continent. It is our job to bring you an offer that you want at a price that you want at the terms that you want. Isn't that what they want? Because then you can weave everything back to that. But then you say, it's not, well, we know it's not about the track record. We got to do something very specific for your home. My question is, who's the ideal buyer? Who's the ideal buyer? And they're going to have a blank stare. It's a really good thing. And you say, you bought this home 7 years ago. Why did you buy it? Look at what I just did. I'm putting them in an emotional state on where they actually bought the home, and they're going to tell me everything. Why they bought it, how they got there, how they paid for it, what they paid for it, what was their motivation, everything. Because now you put them in a state of why they actually got it. Then you say, well, now that we know who the ideal buyer profile is, we need to activate these buyers. We have buyers here. We have buyers on realestate.com.au. We have buyers in our open homes. We have buyers in auction. Let me walk you through the multiple areas from where we can activate buyers. Because they have no idea. They just think you put it on realestate.com and you hit enter and buyers come. Which is why there is downward pressure on fees. But if you tell them here are the various places in which we activate buyers, they know that you have the secret sauce. Then you say, hey, now that we've activated all these, now that we know what buyers we're going to activate, we need to actually launch our listing. Favorite line, because we know that good process drives good results. Let me explain to you the listing launch process. On day 1, we do this. On day 2, we do this. On day 3, we do this. On day 4, we go live. Then we do this. And then 4 days later, we go to auction. And this is what we do. Whatever it may be, right? Whatever, but you're walking them through process, because what do they think now? They're like, oh my gosh, they have a structured process, and we need to be a part of the structured process, because we know good process drives good results. And then you can say, well, now the process is not enough. Let me actually show you how we use marketing to back up this process. Now you talk about marketing. Everyone's like, well, let me show you about all the marketing that I'm going to do. No, they don't think about that. What you want to say is, there are 3 types of marketing. traditional, digital, and social, and let me show you how I'm going to integrate the three of them. Here's what I do traditionally, open home. Here's what I do digitally, getting it on realestate.com. Here's what I do socially because I have Facebook, etc. And here's how I do it all together. Now that you've done marketing, the next thing is, 6 is, I call it reach. Not only do we have buyers activated locally, but we can go regionally, we can go nationally, and sometimes even internationally. Let me show you the plan through the process. Locally we do this, regionally we do this, nationally we do this, internationally we do this, right? And it can just be one line, but they're going to remember that you touched on reach. And that's all it is. 7, how do I do, Mr. Seller, you must be wondering, how do I do all this? It's really important to have a really great technology platform. So this is when you talk text, systems, process. Here's what we do. Here's our technology, here's our back end, here's our process, here's Trello, here's GroupMe, here's WhatsApp, here's how we run everything. You actually show them where you showcase the complexity and you break down the simplicity, right? So you're telling them, I'm going to do all of these things for you, but I need really great systems to be able to do that, and I'm going to bring this to you at no charge to you because when you work with me, you get all of these. 8, pricing. When you say pricing, all of them will say, oh, my home is worth somewhere between $950,000 and $1.1 million. They start with the range, right? Yes, they start with the range, right? And it's our job to narrow down that range in some way, and then either if we're going to go to auction, then that's a process around that. So they need some form of pricing. I will tell you this. Go with strategy as opposed to locking on the price because they take pricing personally. Market dynamics. I will give you 2. You should use this every time, and this will blow your mind because it will blow the client's mind every single time. Here's how I do it. Mr. Seller, there are 131 million housing units in the United States. There are 13.2 housing units in in California. There's 1.7 housing units in Los Angeles. In this neighborhood, there are 542 homes. The average sales price is 1.3 million. There's 7 active, 3 pending, and 4 sold. And out of that, 1 has had a record price. Would you like me to show you the 7-step process in which I can get you to be the next record price? Do you think after that they can say anything? Because now your 7-step process is irrelevant. You can say whatever. You can be like, would you like to go to dinner with me? Whatever. You still win. Because you've just shown them that you know macro to micro. Right? And you think that's hokey to say that, but going macro to micro is super, super important because now just saying there are 5 active listings, 3 under contract, and 2 sold, they know that too. But when you put it in context, they're like, oh my gosh, like Rick knows everything, right? That's what you want. Good? Helpful? Did you see I'm like a total nerd about this stuff? Okay. Last one that I don't see a lot of people talking about, we call contract to close. Do you call it something else? Settlement, just the settlement period, right? Once you actually accept the offer, a bunch of stuff happens in that period. We keep deals together in that period, right? That they don't have any idea about. We never talk about the underbelly of the beast. Would you agree that this is a complex process where negotiations still happening, inspections are happening? Like a lot of weird stuff happens there, right? But they have no idea. They just think, oh my gosh, like Megan hit a button, it's realestate.com.au, we got a little auction, like why should I pay her 2.5%? That's what they're thinking, right? But they have no idea what we do. Showing them, hey, once it goes under contract, these are the 7 things that we do, this is how we negotiate for you. Show them everything. That's when it really starts to get exciting.